Well, welcome back to part 4 of assembly. First of all, I kind of want to go over, when I first got the bike, I'm pretty aware that there's going to be unseen problems because you never know what's underneath as you start taking things off, and my debris pile is growing, starting with this on the side of the house, the exhaust cover that the old ones piled back there, along with the muffler itself, the manifold on the right side itself, including the bracket, which I've got it. I only have 2 bolts on it right now, but this is what will hold the mirrors, holds the gauges, and many other things. But the mirror part was bent so bad that it couldn't be bent back. Had to replace that part. And the fairing was destroyed, so I was able to get a exact color match, but it has a few scratches on it, and so of course I'm not going to make this perfect. There's scratches. Not big scratches, but there's scratches all along the luggage on both sides. The crack I showed you before on the trunk that I repaired, and it looks okay. It's very strong now. I'm going to kind of show you real quick on the inside of that trunk. I had these, it had like duct tape kind of holding it together, and I took all that off, and under that is this red tape that I couldn't pull off at all. So I just used plastic staples and stapled, right over that red tape, which is not a big deal. It worked out really well. And of course I put it back together and held it together before I put those staples in. And here's the outside of it. It's not real pretty, of course, but it's super strong. The antenna that mounts to the trunk is on there, really, really strong as well. One of the things you'll see is the gauges are on. I wanted to at least start the bike and run it for a while now that I have all these parts put back on, and see. I can't find the coolant leak, so I thought I'd get it up to temperature and see if I can find a coolant leak. And plus, I wanted to make sure that the fan on the back side of the radiator spun freely when it kicks on, when it gets up to temperature. So I did that, and the fan came on, runs fine. It got up to operating temperature. The temp gauge sat right in the middle, which is where you want it, and turned the bike off, and overnight, not a drop. I think it must have just been coolant that leaked out the side. I hope that once I get it together, I won't find it after I've got everything together. Once the forks are all put together, I'm going to give a ride just around here, make sure everything feels okay. And one thing, if you're curious about, I just plugged in the gauges. A lot of things are not plugged in. One of the headlights isn't plugged in. All those were disconnected. The only thing I had connected were the instruments. You can start the bike and it runs fine. There's no issues in starting the bike with it all apart like it is. So thought I'd let you know about that, kind of an FYI, I guess. So the work continues. So and now one of the small vents that was from the old fairing I had to reuse. The new one the new used one didn't have it. So I had to glue back a tab, and as soon as I'm done gluing it, I'll use the plastic welding gun, which This is it right here. I thought I'd kind of always talk about it, but I've not really shown it quite yet. But after that glue dries, I'll show you me using one of these staples that you melt into the plastic, which really holds plastic pieces together very well. Now you can see the scratched up piece I had to reuse that was on the old fairing. I just sanded it. I purchased color matching spray paint, sanded it a bit, and painted it, and I was pretty good with that. Once again, revisiting the old busted up engine guard and the mount that it attached to, which attaches to the frame. Here's what it looks like all new, and those were 2 brand new parts. And then here's the old mirror. I now have a replaced mirror, used mirror, and I'll be using some of these parts. At this point, the glue dried, and I'm able to now put this metal staple between the 2 pieces that were broken before, just to make it much stronger. Really hard to get a good spot where I could put it, but it worked out. And kind of clip those little ends and you're good to go. Now I'm just kind of putting the fairing back together, all the pieces that needed attention. The piece that I painted is now being put back on and screwed back onto the fairing. And then I just have the small vent piece to that I just finished gluing and stapling, getting that put onto the bike as well, onto the fairing as well. And then I'm all done. That fairing is all ready to go, and I can just kind of put it to the side and have it ready for me to put it back on the bike. And not related to the accident, on the underside of the trunk are these 2 metal latches. 3 of the plastic, I guess you'd call them the nut parts on the back of it that are all molded plastic, were broken. And you can see how to take all these screws out to get to it. And I simply used screws and nuts to attach and hold those together. So that was just another issue that I had to resolve. And you see that metal piece below the fairing above the cylinder that was bent in. I simply just bent it out, and that seemed to work just fine for me. And then it was time for me to kind of rebuild the forks. So new fork seals, new fork oil. I'm just kind of going over them kind of quickly in this video. There are tons of videos on how to do forks on all kinds of motorcycles. And now I'm putting together a new bleeder valve to do my clutch fluid and brake fluid. So the next part I'm going to do is the clutch bleed. It's right under this canister, and it's everything's available to get to with everything taken apart. So figured I might as well get the clutch bled later on in the next episode. I should have the forks back on, and we'll be putting new brake pads on, and then I'll be bleeding those brakes as well. So now there's 2 screws on the top cover. That's the reservoir cover, and then right after you remove that, there's a kind of a diaphragm plate, and then the actual rubber diaphragm that's like right below that. And I'll get those cleaned up. Then right below that is a float. Just pull that out as well and get it cleaned. So here's my new bleeder valve, nice one-way valve. This is attached to the petcock valve, which is just out of view. I thought I had the camera on it, but I must have bumped it. So, and I'm just loosening that valve while the line is on. And at this point, there wasn't any fluid coming out, but I knew I had it open. So I just went up and grabbed the clutch, pulled it in, and just held it and tied it in place in that closed position. And here you can see as I squeeze that clutch lever in the first time, you'll see fluid come to that first part there. At that point is where I kind of hold that, tie that clutch in a closed position. At this point, I just put the hose into a container, and then once it's past that valve, I can just start squeezing the clutch lever and starting to empty out that brake fluid, clutch fluid, brake fluid, same thing. So now I'm just wanting to get the rest of this brake fluid out of here, and I'm just using regular paper towels. I don't have shop towels. You can see how dirty it is. Regular .4 brake fluid, and once it's all cleaned up, I'm actually sort of cleaned up. I'm going to start running all of that bad brake fluid through the system until all there is clean brake fluid. At this point, I'm gonna top it off. You can see it's really clean now, and once I have it at the level that I need it to be, which is the high level through the eye from the outside of that reservoir, you can see where that is, then it's time to put it back together. Then from there, it's just a matter of, once again, got to put the float back in. Right after that, all these are all nice clean parts I cleaned. I also have to put the diaphragm, and above that is the diaphragm plate. Finally, the reservoir cover and the 2 screws on the top. Then after that, I simply clean up the top, and I'm good to go and ready for the next step of assembly. It was getting to be super hot in the garage, so I thought I would just bring the camera into the editing room here and kind of finish up this episode. And I should have the forks on hopefully on the next episode and continue with assembly, but I wanted to get that clutch fluid done. I'm still going to be doing probably the next episode the front brakes, changing out the brakes, and going to be bleeding the brake fluid as well, front and back, and just continuing on assembly. So thanks again for joining in, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much.